What's up, guys? It's Drew Allar here. I just want to give a shout out to Nittany Nation. Thank you for the love and support. We really appreciate it. You guys brought a lot of energy, and we are.
He was one pass away from sending Penn State to the national championship. One read, one decision, and one shot. Now, Drew Allar's coming back to Penn State with a score to settle. He's 6'5", 240 pounds, armed with a rocket launcher of a right arm. I've seen it in person, and it's backed by a fan base that fills Beaver Stadium with 100,000 every Saturday. In 2024, he led Penn State to their first ever playoff run and nearly took down Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl semifinal. The pressure is huge. The spotlight is blinding, but he's not backing down. This is First and 10 with Breneman. And today, we're diving deep into the rise of Drew Allar, his numbers, his comeback mission, his shot at the NFL, and why some scouts are whispering #1 overall. Let's break it down. Drew Allar started this whole ride in Medina, Ohio. Back then, he was just a kid with a rocket arm and a dream, and boy did he light it up. By the end of his high school career, he had racked up over 9,100 passing yards and 100 touchdowns. His senior year alone, 4,444 yards and 48 touchdowns. That's video game type numbers. He committed to Penn State in March 2021 and tweeted something simple but powerful. Quote, "Growing up in Ohio, it was always a dream of mine to have the opportunity to play and compete in the Big Ten. I'm very excited to say I'll be committing to Penn State University." That tweet was the start of a new chapter, not just for Allar, but for Penn State as well. He didn't start right away. He waited his turn. He watched from the sidelines and learned the playbook, worked behind the scenes. But by 2023, the job was his. And in 2024, he wasn't just a starter, he was the guy. The face of the program in Happy Valley, the one fans counted on when the clock was ticking and the title dreams were alive. And man, did he deliver. Allar played all 16 games in 2024. His final stat line was 262 completions on 394 attempts. That's a 66.5% completion rate for 3,327 yards and 24 touchdowns to just 8 interceptions. And he added 302 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns on top of that. That's balance, that's control, that's a quarterback that takes care of the football and knows how to lead. But the stats don't tell the full story. It's the moments, those big moments that matter. Like opening night against West Virginia when Allar dropped 3 touchdown passes in one quarter and basically ended the game before it was halftime. Or the monster performance at USC where he passed for 391 yards, the most by a Penn State quarterback in years.
First down throw for Allar, steps up in the pocket, fires on the run. Keandre Lambert-Smith is gone. Welcome to the Drew Allar era. It's a Penn State touchdown.
And then there was the game against Maryland. Drew Allar stayed calm, didn't force anything, and let the offense roll to a blowout win. That was his I'm here moment. By the end of the regular season, Penn State stood 11-1. They were ranked as one of the top teams in the country, and they officially had punched their ticket to the college football playoff for the first time ever. Allar wasn't just leading a good team, he was leading one of the best teams in America. In the playoff opener, Penn State dominated SMU 38-10. Allar didn't have to throw much, just 127 yards passing, but he managed the game perfectly. The defense dominated, the run game was rolling, job done. Next came Boise State, a trickier matchup, but Allar came out firing. He tossed 3 touchdown passes and pushed the Lions to a 31-14 win. That meant Penn State was headed to the Orange Bowl, the semifinals of the college football playoff, 1 game away from the national title. But then came the heartbreak. The Orange Bowl semifinal against Notre Dame. One last drive, a tie game, the clock ticking down. Allar drops back, pressure in his face, looks left, looks middle, and throws an interception. Notre Dame's Christian Gray snags it. Notre Dame kicks the game-winning field goal. Final score 27-24. Penn State loses.
And I don't want to say it, but we can't have that happen again.
What a mistake.
Let's be honest, it was brutal. You could see it on Drew Allar's face. And after the game, he didn't make excuses. He faced the media and said, "I should have just thrown that away because of the situation Penn State was in. It was a tie game." That's accountability. Coach Franklin had his quarterbacks back saying, quote, "Drew is a passionate guy. He invests so much into his development, but also his teammates in Penn State will handle this with a first-class approach." That says a lot about how the quarterback and head coach see him, not just as a passer, but as a leader of their program. So let's talk about the full picture. Drew Allar finished the 2024 season 13-3 as a starter. He threw for over 3,000 yards, 20-some touchdowns, only a handful of interceptions. In the Big Ten, he ranked top 3 in passing yards and had a QB rating of 77.5, which put him in the top 15 nationally. That's no fluke. That is elite company. He was named to all Big Ten honors, appeared on mid-season watch lists for the Davey O'Brien and Johnny Unitas Award, and captained the team all the way to the semifinal games. His teammates trusted him, his coaches trusted him, and the fans, they saw their program transformed into a playoff threat. This wasn't a one-year wonder. This was the rise of a QB who's just getting started. Penn State now has never been hungrier. They saw what one bad pass in the Orange Bowl cost them. They were right there, 3 points away from a shot at the national championship. And now, with Drew Allar returning for another year, they're gunning for the big one. The mood in Happy Valley is not maybe next year, it's let's finish the damn job. And here's the kicker. NFL scouts are watching. Right now, Drew Allar is lighting up early mock drafts for 2026. Almost everyone has him going in the first round of the draft next year, and some projections have him as a #1 overall pick. Yes, that kind of height. Why? We'll start with his build. He's 6'5", 240. He throws darts like he's tossing baseballs from the mound. Analysts are drooling over his measurables. One scout summed it up by saying, quote, great size, tremendous arm strength, and ever-increasing mobility, a careful, accurate passer. And you've seen it, right? He's not the guy running around in circles. He's the guy who stands tall, stays cool, and drops bombs over the middle. But he has the athleticism to make plays out of the pocket and create when nothing is there. And he's already in the Penn State record books. He's efficient, he's careful, and he doesn't waste chances. You can build a whole offense and a team around that. And speaking of offense, let's speak weapons. This year, Drew Allar steps into year 2 of offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki's high-powered system, and it's looking scary, especially with some of the new receiver talent. Yes, they lose tight end Tyler Warren, who was a first-round pick in this year's draft, but there's other tight ends coming back who have a ton of potential. And this offseason, Penn State went portal shopping. They picked up Kyron Hudson, a transfer from USC who brings speed and size, and Devontae Ross, a dynamic receiver who lit up Sunbelt defenses at Troy last year. Both guys can stretch the field. Both are already making noise in practice. Coach Franklin even said they've been really good so far, and that's putting it lightly. You throw in guys like a veteran Liam Clifford, Tyseer Denmark, the redshirt freshman, you have a lot of talent for Drew to throw to. Now pair that with the best backfield duo in the country that returns for their final season. Singleton and Allen each ran for over 1,000 yards last year, and when both are healthy and rolling, defenses have to respect the ground game, which opens up everything for Drew Allar. That means play action passes. That means shots down the field. That means Drew Allar gets more clean pockets, and that leads to touchdowns. Oh, and the defense, yes, they are stacked as well. New defensive coordinator Jim Knowles, who's one of the best in the country from Ohio State, comes in and will have a dominant unit. Penn State brought back a nasty defensive front. That includes Denai Dennis Sutton returning. These guys hit hard, they swarm fast, and they make it miserable for opposing quarterbacks. Analysts are already calling them a top 5 defense for 2025, and that's why Penn State's showing up consistently as one of the top 3 teams in the country in preseason lists. So now you've got a quarterback with NFL size, a cannon for an arm, and growing leadership skills. You've got a group of new receivers ready to break out. You've got a tight end room that has playmakers, and you have 2 of the best running backs in the country returning. And also a defense with a great defensive coordinator that plays like its hair is on fire. That's not hype. That's a recipe for a championship run. But let's not forget what's happening off the field as well. Drew Allar isn't just putting up stats, he's also building his brand. He's become one of the top NIL earners in college football, with On3 valuing his portfolio around $2 million. His sponsorships, we're talking about names you know: Bose, EA Sports, Urban Outfitters, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. And here's the cool part. That Frosted Flakes deal helped to raise $30,000 for PA schools. So yes, he's cashing in checks, but he's also giving back. And he hasn't forgotten about his guys in the trenches. Allar bought custom Bose headphones for each of his offensive linemen to say thanks. That kind of stuff doesn't show up on a scoreboard, but it shows up in the huddle. When your quarterback looks out for you, you fight harder and block harder for him. Now Drew Allar's back for one more run. With the team, with the weapons, and the fire to chase a title. The pressure's real, but so is the belief in State College. So what do you think? Can Drew Allar take Penn State all the way to a national championship? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more First and 10 with Breneman.